good, y'all? It's your girl, NeffyRaps. We're live right now for the Vibe Session, Power 214 Radio. You already know the vibes, baby. Listen, we bringing y'all the dopest, hottest independent artists, not only from right here in the Triple D, but from all over. Okay, we got another super dope guest on the show today. Tru Banks, welcome. How are you?
I'm doing good. Thanks for having me, man.
Of course, it's a vibe. So I see you sitting outside. You got like outside patio vibes going on.
Oh yeah.
Where you at right now? What city you repping?
I'm from Dallas, man, but right now I'm living out in Irving. So I moved out here. I graduated from college, so that's where I'm at right now. So I'm originally from Lancaster, so I guess I'm going to rep the L. But right now I'm in Irving right now.
Okay, shout out to Irving. You know the vibes. All right, it's lit. It's lit. So for people that may not be familiar with you and your brand and your music, tell us a little bit about what made you start making music.
So actually, man, I've always had a passion for music. When I was a little kid, I was in the church choir like a lot of young black boy. Mama would tell you gotta be in the choir. And I was in band for a major part of middle school and high school. I was on the drum line, and so I've always had that passion for just making music. But I never thought I'd be rapping. And so my brother, he's been rapping for a few years. Marco Supreme, he's actually on my single that's out now. Not even close. He's been rapping for a little bit. So I think around January, December, we was kind of messing around. I was like, man, I'm gonna make a song, hop on the track with me. He was like, okay, bet. So, we go in the studio and, we make the song. I was like, man, I kind of like this, making my own music, writing my own rhymes and lyrics and going into the booth and just making it work. And since then, I was like, you know what, why not? So I just started making music.
Okay. All right, cool. Well, that's a dope vibe right there. And it's always dope when it's organic too. Like when it just comes and it's natural and you vibe out from there. So that's pretty cool. What are some of your influences? Like people you grew up listening to, or even people that you might like right now?
Okay, so when I was a kid, man, I listened to a lot of it might be weird 'cause I'm from Dallas, but I listen to a lot of people from Houston because my big brother he used to live in Houston, so he came back. I used to always ride around with him, and he's played a bunch of like Paul Wall, Zero, Lil Kiki, Slim Thug, like the Swisher House, all of them. So I grew up listening to them, and then I was also into Bone Thugs and Harmony, like the '90s rap, and so them and of course like Wayne, Outkast, um, yeah. So that's probably my when I was younger, listened to a lot, and then even now, my favorite rapper is probably Kendrick Lamar, but I have a personal phase like I like Gunna Baby, NLE Chopper, um, who else? Baby King's another personal favorite of mine. Uh, Don Toliver, personal favorite of mine. So I kind of listen to all because in my opinion, rap has its own genres inside of rap. So people make different types of rap music, and so I try to dive into not just the trap, sometimes the conscious the trap, the so-called mumble. Also Migos is one of my personal faves. So I try to listen to a bit of everything, be
Okay, well
diverse with it.
rounded, well versed with it. You definitely named some heavy hitters too in the game. Man, Kendrick, we need some more Kendrick music though. What's up with that? Like,
Man, I mean, I've been so hurt, man. I wish I just had his number personally. Like, K Dot, man, drop some. Cause man, his fans, man, we been waiting, man. I got a couple homeboys, man. We big Kendrick fans. It's like been waiting. I'm still listening to Pimp a Butterfly and Damn. It's like, man, it's time for some new music. But he's the way he make music, man. I feel like it's different. He drops a complete album, a complete masterpiece. They take a little more time to produce, but man, we need some. I can't be, going hard for him. He ain't dropping no music, so. But I think I seen something about him. He supposed to be dropping some more music soon. I'm not sure how true that is, but I hope so though. But yeah, that's my guy, man. I'd love to meet him in person one day.
okay, K Dot, listen, we need some music. What's up? What's going on? It's another
Most
person I
definitely.
personally am dying to get music from. I'm such a big Rihanna stan. Like, I'm such a stan. I'm like, Riri, drop some music. She's another one. I'm like, listen, we need to hear from you. Um,
Yeah.
I'm hearing though that she has music coming out soon, I think. So we gotta see. We're gonna check on that. Okay,
Yeah.
cool. So we talked a little bit about your influences and everything like that. Who's a producer you want to work with? Like a lot of people kind of gravitate towards certain sounds or certain producers that they really like. Who's somebody you like or you want to work with?
Um, let's see. I think I kind of like Wheezy. You know, I like his laid back beats that he do for Gunna and things of that nature. 808 Mafia, he's really nice. I like his beats. Um, but somebody I really like is man, I can't think of his name right now. Um, shoot out some known producers. I cannot think of his name right now.
Who we got? Lunging on the track, Mustard.
Okay.
Um, I don't know. What you looking south?
Oh, there we go. It's DJ Mustard. Yeah, there we go.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. Cause the way he produced with Roddy Rich, man, I was like, I like that. You
Yeah.
know, it's like he's more of like a, I don't know. I like the production, like the instruments, like what he did with Roddy. I was like, I like that. So probably Mustard for sure, and maybe Wheezy, cause you know I don't know, they beats, man, they different. They just hit different for me.
Okay. I think Weezy is underrated, for sure in the game, like big time. Okay, cool. So are you voting in this election? 2020 has been a crazy year. It's a lot to talk about. But it's almost time for that whole situation. Are you getting out there? Are you kind of like, I'm not into the political thing? How do you feel about all of that that's going on right now?
Oh man, I'm pretty. I'm into politics a lot. You know, when I was in college, I was president NAACP, so I'm big into it because a lot of people we complain about this and that. You know, we see everything on TV, Trump, Biden, et cetera, the riots, protesting. And it come down to it. The people in the country, I mean, we run this country. Those officials, they work for us. So we want something to change. We have to go out and vote. We can't sit back and complain about how things are going on in our city, in our state, and we're not voting. So our for sure will be at November and encouraging everybody to, if you're not ready to vote, man, go get ready to vote right now. Like this probably one of the biggest elections this country just had in a long time. So if you're not ready to vote, please go do it. Cause we need a big turnout. We need a big turnout. So
That's a fact. Make sure y'all register. Stop playing games, okay? Major
yeah,
key
this is not a game.
Okay, cool. So you doing a music thing. You talked a little bit about your influences and all of that. Where do you kind of see yourself taking music, your music career? Because I feel like today, artists kind of got to do more than just be an artist. You either got to be dope at your marketing, or you got to dance
Yeah.
to, or have a podcast, or like a lot of people are trying to find a lot of different ways to be relevant and stay hot.
Okay.
How do you feel like you have to maneuver being an artist in this new generation right now?
Well, what you said is very true. So with my music, I wanna make my music, but I also wanna establish my brand as somebody that's a scholar. And so I have a passion for the environment also. So I want to mix my passion with the environment and music and put it together. So somewhere down the line, I can establish my brand. Like, okay, man, he's a rapper, but he's also an advocate for the environment. He's doing this for the city. He's teach out clean up pollution, et cetera, et cetera. So I want to establish that brand where I'm just not making music and that's all I'm about. People can see, okay, who is Tru Banks? What does he stand for? This is what he do, and what is he doing outside of music to make a change. And I feel like that's a big thing. Is like a lot of musicians, a lot of artists, like, okay, you're making music, but are you doing anything else? Are you doing something for your community? Like, for instance, like 21, 21 Savage, he's a rapper, but he's also I've seen a lot of stuff about him creating classes for financial literacy for the youth. So he's giving back, okay, how to make money, how to make money, and that's really big in the black community. So I want to have mix my passions. Like, okay, I want to make music, and I also know, okay, hey man, he's down for the environment too, because that's another big thing moving forward for our generations. If people got kids, don't want to have kids. This is the world we're gonna be living in. So let's make it better for us in the future. So that's what I really want to do.
Okay, I like that. That's cool. Making it, giving it that impact is always important. So you got an interesting name. How did you come up with your artist name?
So my last name is Youth. So it's EUBANKS. And so a lot of people call me by it, like, oh, Eubanks, Eubanks. And I was like, at first, I was like, I'm just gonna go by Eubanks. And I was like, ah, I was like, that's kind of basic, you know. I was like, but it's cool, you know, it's not a common last name. And so I was like, all right, well, I'm gonna keep the Banks part, but I don't know what else to put. So I was trying to think. I was like, I don't know, Eubanks, EUBANKS. You know, my brother, he was like, why about just Tru Banks? I was like, it worked. You know, it fit. Like, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't something complicated. It just flowed. It just fit. And then all my partners and everybody was like, they was like, oh yeah, like that whole hard, like, yeah, like Tru Banks. Like it flows, like it's catchy. So my brother really gave it that name. And so it rhymes with my last name. So Tru Banks and Eubanks. So,
Okay.
you know, it kind of just fit both what I wanted.
Just roll off the tongue with it, huh?
Exactly.
That's lit.
Exactly.
Okay, cool. So, back to what's going on in 2020. We lost so many of our heroes, I feel, this year. There were a lot of like L's that came and like hit everybody in the culture. Starting with, I mean, gosh, Kobe, and then now
Yep.
Chadwick Boseman. And then we lost Nip last year. So it's been a lot of hits that we've been taking. Pop Smoke. It's a lot of people
Yeah.
going. Like, what, in your opinion, like, which one hit you the most so far this year?
He be the most. Uh, I'm about to say Kobe, and because I mean I got a Kobe jersey hanging up right now, and because I know you know what I'm saying, a lot of black boys like us, we grew up, we watched Kobe. You know, every time you see some in the trash can, it's Kobe. So you know, we grew up watching Kobe. People try to hoop like Kobe, model after him. We playing on the playground or whatever in the backyard, and so probably Kobe because you know, we've been watching him since we was kids. You know, I think we was all ready to see, okay, now that he's retired, what's up next for him? And you know, he was already going to start making his impact, you know, as a dad and being a veteran and retiree in the NBA. So that for sure was like it didn't feel real. I know when I heard the news, I was at church actually, and I was like, Kobe died. And I was like, nah, man, it's fake. You know, helicopter crash. You know, it didn't seem real. Like, man, nah, that's fake. We gonna see that it's a rumor or whatever. But when it came out that it was true, I was like, it hurt. And you know, that was somebody that a lot of folks idolized. And so for it, that hit the whole world. I feel like it was like when Michael passed. You know, everybody was like, "What?" Like it just didn't seem real. Kobe
Yeah.
Bryant for sure, man. Rest in peace, man. Him and Gigi.
Yes, rest in peace, Kobe and Gigi. It was rough. It was rough that day. I think I was eating somewhere at a restaurant. I love to eat, so I was somewhere eating. I couldn't even
Yeah,
enjoy the rest of my meal. You know what I'm saying? But
yeah.
what I want to know, Tru Banks, is why you was in church on the phone. That's what I want to know.
Nah,
You
nah.
supposed to be paying
Yeah,
attention.
you check it, you know, and you got to check it every once in a while, you know. And you see something like that, you kind of like, wait a minute. I'm like, you know, you at church, like, nah, that can't be true. You don't want to believe it.
Yeah,
But yeah, nah, that was tough. I
yeah,
think the whole world just stopped and was like, wow, you know, he's a global icon. And
yeah,
anytime somebody like, you know, somebody passed like that, man, it's a tragedy. You know, I mean, it's a tragedy when anybody passed, but somebody who's made that such of a great impact, man, it's sad. It's
yeah.
sad, man. So,
Man, rest in peace to the grace, man. It makes you live life, right? And be grateful. Like
oh
every
yeah,
day, it's just like grateful to be alive, right? Especially
no,
with this
easily.
COVID mess and all that that's going on. So we gotta keep the energy going, positive. You know the
Yeah,
vibes.
yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
I think with all the deaths and COVID, man, I think a lot of people is appreciating that the world slowed down and you make them realize, like you just said, appreciate life, appreciate the people that you love, you know. So,
Got to. Okay, all right, True. Well, I want to get into the record. We're gonna play that joint in a few minutes. Tell us a little bit about
okay.
the new single you promote.
Okay, so man, not even close, man. So this is actually the very first song that I produced. It was with me and my brother Marco Supreme. You know, we went in there. So actually, man, my engineer is our cousin. His name is Ray of Dallas. Man, he's actually a Grammy nominated engineer. And so, you know, we went to the studio. I got the beat from a producer named Dope Boy, and therefore that my man, I like the beat so much because it's kind of smooth, man. Guitar in there, and it's not so hard. And so I was like, man, we got on the track, and I wrote the hook, I wrote my verse, and then he wrote his verse, and we linked up and wrote the last verse together. and we split it up. And so it's my first song, so I'm just like, man, I didn't know how to feel about it at first. And so I was like, man, it's my first song going to the studio, man, I'm kind of nervous. And they like, I mean, just take your time, man, you go get it down. So we go in there and knock it out. And we listen to it, and like, okay, man, it's so kind of hard. Like, you got some work to do, of course, but what I'm saying, just keep at it. And so, man, I had been sitting on it for a long time, and then I started taking it more seriously, and then I started making more music, and it got to the time like me to drop it, man. Everybody know that I'm rapping now. I'm building my brand, and so I want to drop it and see what it do, get my name out there. So it's this is my very first song I ever made, but I got much more in store, so I'm just excited, man. This is just the very beginning, and I feel like for this is a good start for me.
Oh, dope. So we gotta play it, show a big love up here at Power 214 Radio. You know the vibes, okay? We definitely gonna be checking for you as well. You're a friend of the show now, so you always welcome. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So the next time you drop in or you got something going on, definitely let us know. Keep us in the loop of all of that.
All right, cool. Thank you, NeffyRaps, for having me, man. I really appreciate it, man. This is major for me. Like, this is really major for me.
Of course, it's a vibe.